Hello, welcome back to Tottenham Logic. The transfer window has closed. Many Spurs fans are very underwhelmed. Some are not looking forward to the rest of the season, saying that they're giving the window a 3 out of 10. They're not liking the signings we brought in, not because they're not good enough, maybe because they're young and we're putting all our hopes on young players. There's many reasons why people are saying that it was a poor window. For example, I agree with some of them, like we didn't find no more cover for left centre back, which I feel we should have done rather than pigeonhole players like Gray and that in. But when Postecoglou was asked about that, he said he was not looking to bring in players if they weren't going to improve the squad or wanted to be there, which I agree with. And he didn't want to stop the pathway for the youngsters like Vuskovic to come through and Phillips. So as much as I agree with that as well, I'm just going to go through today why I think our squad is actually stronger. I want to just look at a positive spin on this transfer window more rather than try and look at it as in we are going to have a poor transfer, we're going to have a poor season. Because let's look at it. In 2019, we had Lo Celso, Ndombele come in. I think maybe even Sessegnon. I think that was 2019. And that was seen as a brilliant transfer window. Everyone was saying it was an 8 or 9 out of 10. They was very happy with the recruitment. Yeah? Look how that turned out. Every single player that we signed went back to the clubs that we bought them from in the first place. So people are judging this transfer window negatively without even knowing what's going to happen. You can't judge a transfer window until at least January. You've got to give them time, these players, to like show what they can do. Postecoglou has 100% said that he's brought these players in and he's the one that's chose them. He's the one that wants them, and these are the guys who will fit in the system. And talking about the younger guys as well, he said that they're making an impact already. They probably as well were the reason why we didn't get players in. Like we got Gray and Bergville in, and they impressed so much that they were probably the reason why we didn't get a Conor Gallagher in. He's probably thinking, well, Bergville is probably just as good as Conor Gallagher, or can be just as good. So why would we spend money on Conor Gallagher and stop Bergville for getting minutes? So I understand it all. So I want to go into like what happened last season and 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 explain why I think our squad is stronger compared to last season. Because first of all, we have to say like well done to the club for the amount of players that we got out. First of all, because it's not easy getting. I think it's 15 players out the door. Yes, some of them have gone out on loan, but if you think about the players that are in our squad last season. Royale, Gill, Skip, Hoiberg, Dyer, Sessegnon, Solomon, Perisic, Tanganga, Lo Celso, Ndombele. Yeah, Ndombele wasn't really in the squad, but you see what I'm getting at. All these players now that we thought weren't good enough, we've got out the door. And remember as well, this is the first summer since 2019 that a manager has had is going into his second transfer window. That's insane. So when you're saying these signings in the past didn't work out, of course it's going to happen that way. We're signing for different managers, different ways of playing, different tactics. One manager might have liked a certain player, then another manager comes in and doesn't. He wants a whole new team. He wants a new transfer window. So it's been very difficult for the last 5 years. But this is the first time in since 2019 that we've actually got a manager now who's molding a team into his vision, how he wants it. So we again, that has to be a positive on even the players that he's bringing in. He said he wants these players, so we just have to trust in him. He hasn't been here for 24 years. Levy has. So we can't keep saying because it hasn't worked for 24 years, it's not going to work now. It's just a silly way of thinking. That means it's never, ever, ever going to work, ever, because it's not worked for 24 years. It's just not a way to think. You just can't think like that. Ange Postecoglou is not the type of person that will come in as well and say, yes, 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 Levy, yes, Levy. He's not that kind of manager. And if you think he is, then I don't understand. Have you ever spoken or listened to this guy? Because he has what he wants. He's gone into every club and overhauled it, like he's just done with us. He's gone into every club and taken out a nucleus of the players. He said, well, where they're at the end of their cycle, and he's gone, right, bang, puts all the players he wants in, and then they succeed. We just need to give him time. We really do. Give Ange time, not Tottenham time, not Levy time, Ange time, because he's got everything he wants now. He said he's got not everything. Obviously, there's probably a couple of players he still wants and that, but he's got a nucleus of players now that all believe in it, all want to fight for the club, all want to be here, which is a massive plus. We've got youngsters coming in that have got massive potential to grow as well. So I still think that we've got. I still think that right. Let's go into like what happened last season, for example. So players like Basuma, Bentancur, Maddison, Van der Ven, Richarlison were in and out of the team through serious injuries, and Maddison never came back the same. Bentancur had two serious injuries. We never got the fully fit Bentancur either. Basuma got suspensions, went to AFCON, got caught malaria. Malaria is a serious business, and he was never the same when he came back from there either. So just them five players as well. We had injuries just like other teams, but last season I don't feel we had good enough players. Like when those players were out, we had Skip, Højbjerg, Chicken Royale. They're just not good enough at all, and we all knew they weren't good enough. So give these newer players a chance to see if they can be better. So let's say, like last season, let's just say this season Maddison, Udogie, Van der Ven, Richarlison are unavailable. We've now got Spence, Kulu, Bergvall, Dragushin, Solanke. We've got squad depth. They are there. We have got players that can come in. We've got Spence to cover left back if we need to. Even Van der Ven can cover the left back if Dragushin can come in, if Udogie's missing. And he'd done brilliantly, Van der Ven at left back last season. In fact, we looked a lot stronger with Van der Ven, Dragushin and Romero all playing at the same time. We've also got cover for right back and centre back with Gray, because Gray can cover centre back, right back, DM. He can cover 8 if you need to. Very versatile players we've got now. Bergvall can cover number 10 role for Maddison. Bergwell can cover number 8 if need be. He could probably play holding midfielder if you asked him to. He's very strong in the tackle. And so we've got a lot of players in this squad now. And not to mention, we've got players like Mikey Moore and Will Lancashire, who Postecoglou wanted to keep because they impressed so much. So you've also now, if Johnson doesn't buck his ideas up, and I still think Johnson will come good. 15 goal contributions last year. He started building up some confidence. I don't know what's wrong with him at the moment, but I still think he'll come good. But you've got Mikey Moore on your shoulder now. You've got Mikey Moore and Odebear on your shoulder. So he's got to be very careful. So he may even be dropped against Newcastle. We don't know yet, but we've got cover and we've got rotation now. So to stop all this doom and gloom, there's a lot of Spurs fans now, and they're very negative about the window. It's very hard. Like you're saying now that probably that I'm being a happy clapper and I've got no evidence of these players going to be good. Yeah. First of all the other players are saying that Gray and Bergvall have made a massive impact in training. Ange Postecoglou and all the coaches are highly rating these 18-year-olds as well. So the professionals that know what they're talking about, that see them day in, day out, are very, very impressed with these players. So it's not just me trying to be positive. I'm hearing that the professionals are telling us that they are very good players and they're going to get lots of minutes. So we can only judge this window later on, not now. Like you can't be doom and gloom about something that hasn't happened yet. And if we're not just an individual team. We're not just a team of individuals. We can buy 2 £100 million players and they might not fit the system, or they might think they're too good for the club, or they might come in and get injured straight away. Loads of things can happen. It's a possibility. But we've got players in that are already looking half decent, like Gray and Bergvall look very good to me. I think there's so much talent in them, but because of their age, they could get better and better and better as well. And Wilson wasn't brought in just as a 19-year-old. He's brought in to start. He got brought in and he got played straight away. So they must rate him as well. So Lanky's going to make a massive difference. But Charleston's got a terrible injury record, but at least Solanke can be in there. He's not going to be ready for Newcastle, but he'll be ready for the Arsenal game. So there's a lot, I think, to be positive about. There's so much versatility in this squad now compared to, let's say, when Postecoglou came in May. Look, the squad he had then. You go back and look at the squad Postecoglou turned up with, and what it is now. For me, there's a lot more energy. There's a lot more versatility. There's a lot more skill. There's going to be. I'm putting my neck out here. We're going to score more goals this season as well. I really do think so. There's going to be so much more attacking flair to this side, which will help us not concede as many either. I really do. I think we'll concede less and we'll score more. I really do. But yeah, don't get so doom and gloom about the window. It's not. Nothing's happened yet. We've got 4 points from a possible 6 so far. Let's just see what happens against Newcastle. Let's see what this squad does, because if this squad now goes to Newcastle and gets a win, then you tell me, have we improved or not? Just from that one result, So let me know in the comments what you think of the transfer window. Oh, by the way, I'm giving the transfer window an 8 out of 10. I really am. I'm really excited for this season. I really, really am. The reason why it's not 10 is because obviously there is gaps, like I think left-sided defender we really needed. But other than that, I think we're going to have a really good season. I'm really positive for it. I really am. Let me know in the comments what you think. Smash that like button if you think we can get a win at Newcastle at last. Come on, please. Come on, you Spurs.